Hey guys, welcome to another video. In this video I would like to talk about the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing. And first of all, one of the triggers that got me making this video is Adobe changing their privacy policy. And you can look it up on YouTube, what it's all about. If you're an Adobe user, really get into it. If you're not, it is still relevant, this video, for you. And the reason why is that Adobe has been a professional software tool for especially many of the 3D Vista people making virtual 360 tours. And Adobe Photoshop, those type of tools have been very much part of our whole toolkit. The thing is that Adobe has moved more and more into the cloud environment of using their stuff. And recently, like 2 weeks ago, they changed the privacy policy where you can look it up.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day.
I'll go over here somewhere to, and here you can see how that looks like. You get a notification, updated terms of use. You can only accept and continue. And if you do not accept, you do not get access to your content anymore. And you might have been in the middle of a big project, which is under NDA with all the secretive things you're doing as a business to another business, and you've lost all your work at that point unless you accept. And when you accept, you're giving all your materials away to Adobe, who can train their AI, their machine learning stuff with your work and create relevant things to your qualities of standards, and use your stuff for others to recreate the same stuff. And your creations, your stuff that you've been working on, I don't know how long, how many years already, is suddenly part of some AI that you can ask to make something very similar to that. That's a big problem, and that's a big problem that's coming through all types of companies nowadays that are cloud, that are closed source, that are proprietary. And this is something pretty well scary in some way, but also an opportunity to look into the alternatives that are out there. And what I'm talking about is, when you're talking about Adobe Photoshop, for example, you can start looking into Affinity, where you do a one-time purchase and you get a very similar type of a workload that you can do with it. You can also look into something like Photopea. This is an open source tool. Affinity is recently bought by another company, so you never know how that new company is going to act to their customers. And that's the main problem with proprietary closed software, is that a company can be bought at any point, and whoever is the new owner can change the rules of the game. With open source software, that is not really the case, because you can always roll back different versions and stuff like that. So to me, this is like an invitation to look more into open source software, software that I can self-host on my own server, where I say if I want to upgrade or I do not want to upgrade, instead of being under the gun, you accept or you lose all your stuff. Like, you should be able to make your own backups. Now, is open source really easy, and do you all do it like very easily? No, it's not really. Maybe it's getting easier, but is that the reason not to use it? I don't think so. I think it's very important to start using more tools that are one-time fees, that are open source, that you can self-host in your own server, or one of those things among each other. But the main point is that you're never under the gun to accept new terms and conditions when you're very dependent of this type of software. Whether it's Adobe, whether it is Slack, whether it's a Google Drive, whether it is, well, there's many tools out there that are all proprietary and cloud-based closed software. I'm not saying that you have to get into open source right away from one day to another. That's not reasonable. But what I am saying is, please be more alert to these things, and try to consider open source more into your life. That's kind of the main thing I would like to suggest here to all of you watching this video. It's one of the reasons that on my YouTube channel you can see that I've been making more of those self-host videos, all mainly based on Coolify, and Coolify itself is open source, and Coolify you run on Linux, which is open source, and so you can have even the Raspberry Pi install Linux on it, and on Linux you can have Coolify, and with Coolify you can install all these type of open source applications that are becoming more no-code, which means that it's more user-friendly, more easy to use, more modern in that sense, while keeping your privacy and the ability to make full backups of all your data and all that kind of stuff. Yes, it means that you get more responsibility over things. You become responsible more for security, for your backups and all those type of things, but you're never under the gun to comply with new terms of service in that sense. Or you lose your data kind of situations, like it's happening right now with Adobe. On a large scale, like we've trusted Adobe for I don't know how many years. Like there are customers that spend, I don't know, more than $20,000 over their lifetime of 10, 15 years on these licenses. And now from one moment to another, they're suddenly like, what? All my content is going to be used by some AI of Adobe, and what? Like, you don't want that kind of stuff happening. And unfortunately, this is something that is happening more and more. Now, something I would like to tell you is that I'm trying to, help you guys a little bit with looking to these alternatives over here, but there are a lot of tools out there. And so one of the main websites that I'm using a lot is Opensourcealternative.to. And here you can find a whole list of things that are alternatives to something else. So, for example, Photoshop, you can look over here, Krita and GIMP. You can look for After Effects. Well, there's these. Now, are they all as good as the other? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Learning curves are there, but you can build on something, and that is the main point of this video, is that as a business you need to be able to build on top of other things, to compound all of your experience and knowledge and things on top of things that cannot just be ripped away, and that's kind of the main point here. So use Opensourcealternative.to to find these type of tools, learn more about it. And one of the last things I would like to talk about is, as we are very much mostly from 3D Vista, we have chosen 3D Vista for a reason, and that is because of the unlimited amount of tools that we can create with 3D Vista. You pay them €495 or dollars, and then you get 1 year of upgrades, and then after that you can choose to upgrade another €150 for another year of upgrades of new things that they've provided. Now that sounds pretty nice and reasonable. The only thing is that 3D Vista has been focusing more on their own centrally cloud version of things, such as the analytics, which are very easy to use, but they're not offering an easy to use analytics with heat maps for self-hosted instances of exported 3D Vista tools, which is kind of a shame, I think. I think they should. And the same comes with their Notes application. They offer this really nice notes thing where you can talk about the 360s and have a chat about it, add media to it. Looks really nice and great, but it's only through 3D Vista hosting. And when you're reading the FAQ, when you stop the subscription, you have 30 days left over to use it, and otherwise all your data is gone, deleted. And yeah, then you get these subscriptions, but you don't want that all your notes communication is just gone from one moment to another. When you decide to not pay or whatever is happening, that the reason might be, you just always want to be able to own all your stuff. And that used to be really one of those really nice selling points of 3D Vista, but nowadays that is not the case anymore. Now, that's also one of the reasons I've been working on my own self-hosted notes that is compatible with 3D Vista. If you're interested in learning more about that, you can reach out to me. I'll put a link in the description. So that is my part of the promotion that I'm working on, because I really believe that we should be, as creators, fully able to do whatever we want and whatever we need with things, instead of having Adobe doing your stuff. So yeah, I would like to thank you for your time watching this video. I hope it's been useful, and let me know what you think in the comments. I'm really curious to what you guys are thinking, what your opinion is about these type of matters. And if you would like to see more videos related to self-hosting things, finding more alternatives to the tools that you're using in your daily lives, yeah, I think that's a great journey to get into. I like this. I like looking into these type of things and offer better solutions that are out there that we can host ourselves. So yeah, thank you. Have a great day. All right. Bye.